Okay, let's look at direct ratio and proportion, finding a missing number. And there I have a real life example. $7 to 10 avocados. How much for 25 avocados? Now let me show you step by step how I expect you to do your work. First of all, you are going to set up your ratio or your equation. All right, so we start with the setup. Let me write setup. You don't have to write setup, but just for you to know. Setup. All right, the setup will be, it's talking about money and avocado, or the price to avocados. It's talking about two things, or comparing two things, price to avocado. So it is saying that $7 to 10 avocados. All right. Now the next number, it says how much for 25 avocados. We are going to put 25 under avocados. Okay, so we put 25 under avocados. So here we are going to put a letter. It could be N, it could be Q, it could be L, it could be any letter that you choose. Just make sure that you have a letter here to show that we are finding what would be the price. Now in the video earlier, I showed you how to cross multiply. So here we do the same thing. Okay, we cross multiply. Now we multiply the two numbers. For example, this line here is matching two numbers. So we multiply those two numbers first. 7 times 25. Okay, now we divide with the number that matches with the missing number, with the letter. All right, we divide, we draw the division line, we divide by the number that matches the letter. So we say divided by 10. Okay, now we say 7 times 25. 7 times 25 is going to give us 175 divided by 10. Now you go to your rough work and you divide 175 divided by 10. 10 into 17 is going to give us 1. 1 times 10 is going to be 10. 7 minus 0 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. We bring down the 5. 10 into 75 is 7. 7 times 10 gives us 70. 5 minus 0 gives us 5. 7 minus 7 is 0. Now here we have a remainder. What we do when we have a remainder is we add a decimal point and a 0. We move up the decimal point and we bring down the 0. 10 into 50 gives us 5. 5 times 10 is 50. We minus that. Okay, so our answer here is going to be 17 and 5/10, but because we are looking for price, which is money, so this is going to be $17.50. Okay, so our answer is going to be, you need to write the word answer. Answer, $17.50 for 25 avocados. Okay, so let's go over the steps. First, the setup. The problem is talking about price and two avocados. $7 to 10 avocados. 25 avocados. We don't know the price, so we write an N under the price. Then we cross multiply. We multiply first the two numbers that match, right? 7 times 25. Then we divide by the number that is matching the letter. So we divide by 10. All right, then we continue. 7 times 25, 125. And we carry the 10 divided by 10. And you do your rough work on this side. And then you get your answer. Let's look at another example. 350 quetzal to $1 Belize. So how many quetzals for 300 Belize? Again, we put the setup, right? Quetzals to Belize. Quetzals to Belize. Belize dollar. Okay, so we have 350 quetzal to $1 Belize, and we have $300 Belize. So we write that 300 under Belize dollar. Okay, 300 Belize dollar, and we are looking for how many quetzals, so we write N. Okay, so that is our first step. Our second step now is we cross multiply. So we will say $300 times 350 quetzal. We multiply the two numbers that match together. Okay, and we divide by the number that matches the letter. So that's going to be by $1. Okay, now 1 into this is the same number. So we go to our rough work and we multiply. I am going to multiply 350 quetzal by 300. Okay, so we have 0, 0 times 5, 0 times 3. Put a 0 here. Now we start to multiply by the second digit, which is the tens. 0 times 0, 0. 0 times 5, 0. 0 times 3, 0. Now we multiply by 3. So I'm going to put 2 zeros, which is these 2 units here, or digits. So write 2 zeros, and now I multiply by 3, which is 100. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. We carry 1. 3 times 3, 9, and 1 is 10. I add that. I add those numbers, so I'll get 0, 0, 0, 5, 0, 1. Now let's look at this. I have 2 decimal places. Decimal places are the numbers on the right of the decimal point. So I have 1, 2. Here I don't have any, so that's 2. I go down to my answer and I count to 1, 2. And I put the decimal point. So this will be 1,050 quetzales. Alright, because it's quetzales that we are looking for. So my answer will be 1,050 quetzals to 300 Belize. Okay, now let's go to another example. I want you to get this clear because the problems for this week are based a lot on money exchange and so on. So this problem says when going to Chetumal, the exchange rate is 8 pesos to $1 Belize. A buy costs 720 pesos. How much would that be in Belize dollars? The first step would be set up the problem. So we have pesos and pesos to dollars. We know that dollars is Belize, right? So we have pesos to dollars. 8 pesos to $1. $1. So 720 pesos, we will put that under pesos. 720 pesos to, we don't know how many dollars is that. Okay, so that is our setup. Now we cross multiply. Okay, cross multiply. We have two numbers matching, so we say 720 times $1 divided by the number that matches the letter. So we divide by 8. 720 times 1 gives us 720 pesos divided by 8. I go to my rough work now and I say 720 divided by 8. 8 into 7 cannot, so I put a 0. Now I take 72. 8 into 72 is going to give me 9. 9 times 8 is 72. We minus, we get 0. We bring down the 0. Now because it's a 0, you will leave it there. You bring it down. You put 0. 8 into 0 is 0. Okay? So my answer here will be $90. Okay? So my answer, I write my answer. To be, we can say 720 pesos is 90 Belize dollars. Okay, now we go to the last example. It says Kelly paid $10 for a dozen apples. How many dozens of apples did Kelly buy with $110? No, this is not exchange rate. So they're talking, the problem is talking about price and apples. Okay, so it's saying that $10 to, remember to put the colon to mean two. $10 to, how much is a dozen? 12. So 12 apples. So $110 will go under price to N. We don't know. So we have our setup. That's our first step. Our second step, now we cross multiply. All right. So the two numbers that match are $110 times 12 divided by the number that matches the letter. Okay. Now here, I can do it two ways. I can either cancel the 10 and the 110. Or I can multiply 110 times 12. And then I divide by 5. But let me do it the short way. There is a 0 at the end of 110 and a 0 at the end of 10. So what I do is I cancel the zeros and I end up with 11 over 12. I go to my rough work and I say 12 times 11. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1. Show me the rough work so that I know that you have done it yourself and not the times by from the times table. So I'll have 2, 3, 1. So this will be 132 apples. So my answer will be Alright, will this be 132? This is 132 apples. Now we need to find out how many dozens is 132. So we divide 132 by 12. 12 into 100 into 13 is 1. 1 times 12 is 12. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. We bring down the 2. 12 into 12 is 1. All right? So how many dozens did Kelly buy with $110? We could say Kelly bought 11 dozens with $110. All right, so that's how we solve problems similar to this problem that I just gave you. Okay.